Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Lainey sabotages Will and Electra's first date, cements mean girl status. The bold and the beautiful B&V. Spoilers reveal that Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, has already become a hit with the ladies around Forrester Creations. The gorgeous women, there were a huge reason why Will even accepted an internship at the company. However, one young woman in particular has caught Will's eye. It's Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, who's grabbed Will's attention, so the other beauties at Forrester Creations are out of luck. Of course, Lainey, Heidi Grace Enderman, was clearly hoping to get her own chance to win Will over. Despite Lainey's attempts to flirt, she's no match for Electra as far as Will's concerned. Jealous Lainey tried to throw shade at Electra, but Will piped up to basically act like Electra was a jewelry superstar. Will is definitely impressed by Electra's work on the revived jewelry line, even if Lainey isn't. It's easy to imagine Lainey thinking it's not too late to step up her game and convince Will to be with her instead. Lainey might come up with some sort of seduction plot and try to make Will forget all about Electra. Naturally, Lainey's efforts aren't going to work, but she seems like the type to cause more trouble. If all else fails, Lainey may resort to some sabotage when it comes time for Will and Electra's first date. There's a good chance Will's going to take Electra out to dinner at Il Giardino sooner or later. That could give Lainey an opportunity to crash their evening together or find some other way to blow things up. It'd be interesting to see how Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, would react to Lainey sneaking around and plotting. Would Sheila help Lainey as a way to stick it to the Forresters or turn sinister over Lainey, causing drama in Deegan Sharp's Scene Cannon restaurant? Whatever the case, Lainey may not be ready to give up on Will just yet, so she might get a little rival arc with Electra. Our B&B predictions point to Lainey cementing her mean girl status, so stay tuned for updates on any alarming news ahead. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Will and Electra's budding romance could come with some surprises, so don't miss all the action. As the sun sets over Los Angeles, the Forrester Creations offices are winding down for the evening, but some tensions are only beginning to rise. Among the high-rise windows and designer-filled halls, Lainey Forrester's plan is about to reach its pinnacle. Will Spencer, the well-groomed heir to Spencer Publications, has asked out Electra Carter, a bright, ambitious up-and-comer with a love for fashion and a heart of gold. Electra's grounded nature and genuine warmth stand in sharp contrast to Lainey's cold and calculating persona, making her a prime target in Lainey's latest scheme. Lainey, the youngest Forrester cousin, has long been known for her flawless style and manipulative streak. Beautiful and popular, she has been dubbed the Queen of Mean by more than a few. Lainey's need for control often goes unchecked, her social status high enough to escape the consequences, until Electra arrived. Electra's effortless charm and talent quickly garnered the admiration of her colleagues, and even Will, who had been resistant to romantic entanglements after his last relationship, couldn't resist her allure. The moment Lainey heard about Will and Electra's planned date, her jealousy took root. Lainey didn't mind that Will was just a distant connection in her social circle. She wasn't about to let any woman, especially not Electra, get the upper hand. Determined to maintain her mean girl reputation and derail their evening, Lainey crafted a perfect sabotage plan. By the time Will's sleek black car pulled up outside Electra's place, Lainey was ready to strike. Her plan hinged on timing and precision, two things Lainey prided herself on. The night was set to unfold like a well-rehearsed play, with Lainey as its mastermind and her unsuspecting targets as the leads. As Will and Electra arrived at the elegant rooftop restaurant, Electra marveled at the beautiful view. Will, ever the gentleman, pulled out her chair and the two settled into an easy conversation, laughing over shared stories and mutual dreams. Their chemistry was undeniable, and it didn't take long for Electra to feel like she was walking on air. But Lainey had already positioned herself nearby, hidden among a group of friends. She watched Electra laugh, her smile radiating across the table, and felt a surge of resentment. Lainey's polished nails tapped rhythmically on her champagne glass as she signaled her friend Bree, who had conveniently landed herself a job as a waitress here for the night, courtesy of Lainey's connections. Bree hurried over to their table, a glass of red wine in hand. "Compliments of the house," Bree declared with a smile as she set down the wine in front of Electra. Electra, surprised but charmed, raised her glass to toast with Will. But the moment she took a sip, her face twisted into a look of pure confusion. The wine was laced with an overwhelming amount of salt, enough to ruin the flavor entirely. Electra forced a smile, hoping not to make a scene, and set the glass aside, feeling a bit thrown off. In her corner, Lainey hid a satisfied smirk. Step one of her plan was in motion, and she had more up her sleeve. As Will and Electra tried to brush off the strange incident, Bree returned to the table with yet another round of appetizers. This time, she accidentally tripped, sending a plate of shrimp cocktail hurtling toward Electra's lap. Electra gasped, feeling the icy sauce soak through her dress. Will quickly grabbed a napkin, trying to help her clean up the mess. "I swear, it's like the universe doesn't want us to have a nice evening." Electra laughed nervously, attempting to hide her discomfort. Will shook his head sympathetically, assuring her, "Hey, a little shrimp cocktail isn't going to ruin this date. Let's just laugh it off, okay?" But just as Electra was beginning to regain her composure, Lainey's last move went into action. She prearranged a fake emergency text to be sent to Will from a number made to look like his younger sister's. The message was simple yet powerful. "Need you home right away. Something's wrong." Will's face fell as he read the message. "I'm so sorry, Electra, but I think I have to go. My sister needs me, and she's usually pretty self-sufficient. This doesn't seem like her." Electra forced a smile, hiding her disappointment. "Of course, family comes first. Don't worry about me." Lainey watched, savoring her victory, as Will reluctantly left Electra at the restaurant. The picture-perfect date had unraveled into a mess of spilled appetizers, sabotage drinks, and an abrupt ending. As she slipped out of the restaurant, Lainey couldn't resist passing by Electra on her way out. "Oh, hey, Electra," she purred, her tone dripping with false concern. "Rough night?" Electra, still dazed by the sudden turn of events, looked up at Lainey, sensing something insincere. "It was just one of those nights, I guess." "Oh, totally. That's the thing with Will," Lainey said casually, pretending to give some heartfelt advice. "He can be kind of flaky. But I'm sure you two will figure it out if you try hard enough." She tossed her perfectly styled hair over her shoulder, her words laced with a not-so-subtle hint of derision. As Lainey walked away, her mission accomplished, Electra finally pieced it together. Lainey's sudden appearance, the mishaps, the unfortunate timing, it all started to look suspiciously orchestrated. But despite the realization, Electra knew she would have to tread carefully if she wanted to expose Lainey. After all, Lainey's connections ran deep, and taking her on directly could backfire if Electra wasn't prepared. The next day, Lainey was in her element at Forrester Creations, chatting breezily about her eventful night. She made sure to sprinkle in details of Electra's supposed embarrassing date, making it clear to anyone who would listen that she'd heard about Will's sudden disappearance from a friend. By the time Electra arrived, rumors were already spreading. People whispered about her bad luck on the date, and Lainey's spin on the story only made it worse. Electra kept her head high, refusing to give Lainey the satisfaction of seeing her rattled. Her plan was to confront Will directly. She'd learned enough from her past to know that sometimes the only way to beat a mean girl was to take her narrative out of the shadows. When she saw Will later that day, she didn't mince words. "Will, did you happen to notice anything strange about last night? Like the drinks? Or even the emergency text?" Will looked taken aback, his brow furrowing as he considered her words. "You think someone sabotaged us?" Electra nodded, a new fire in her gaze. "I do. And I think it's someone who has a lot to gain from seeing us fail." As realization dawned on Will, a steely determination took hold of him. He knew exactly who Electra was hinting at, and he wasn't about to let Lainey win this round. Together, they started to piece together the puzzle, vowing not only to set the record straight, but to finally expose Lainey for who she truly was. With a plan in motion, Will and Electra arranged a new date, this time with a twist. They would let Lainey believe they were meeting up again, baiting her into striking once more. But this time, they'd have eyes everywhere and allies ready to help reveal her schemes. As the clock ticked closer to their second date, Lainey's confidence was at an all-time high. But she had no idea that her reign as the Queen of Mean was about to come crashing down.